Thank you for having me here. And it's lovely to be with this panel of women who clearly are making such a difference in the workplace. I head the marketing and client success function at Epsilon for APAC and EMEA. And apart from that, I'm also a founder member of the Save River Kaveri Foundation, which is an NGO that we began to really protect the interests of the river who can't speak for herself. Right, so that's what I do. And I think there are many reasons, and I'm sure we'll cover all of them, as we go around the table for having women at, in the corporate world. And I always like to look at it from the position of the advantage that the corporate has when they have more women out there, right? So one is something that I think all of us read and hear so much of, but we should never stop repeating and reinforcing that, because I feel our work as women leaders is not going to be done for at least another couple of generations. Because of the abilities and strengths that women bring to the table, organizations with healthy gender diversity are more innovative. They have stronger, mixed gender leadership teams, because men and women work better when they are together. And because of this, they enjoy better business and financial outcomes. I think today that's a no-brainer. But like I said, we cannot stop reiterating and reinforcing this. The second is that women form such an important constituency of the consumer base, right? We are 50% of the population that is spending money to buy the products and services that capitalist organizations are making. So if you don't have women involved in the creation of those products and services, how will you understand your target audience that's going to spend money on making you more profitable? I think it's just common sense to make sure that we use that as another rationale. And the third is, it's just human tendency. You always tend to hire people who are like you, right? Unless there's an aggressive policy in the organization that says go out and look for diversity. So a male-centric CXO organization is likely to hire more men because, hey, the men are more like them, right? And it takes a real leader to challenge yourself to say, let me go out and hire somebody who's not like me, who will challenge me, who will make me uncomfortable, because that's when my organization will grow. And that's another reason for us to continue to push for greater, gender diversity today. That's the most fundamental diversity that India needs. Only then will we progress to the other kinds of diversity, which of course will make us so much richer as well.
Lovely. Beautiful. And I love the diversity that's coming off the table as well right now. So thank you, Ganga. Thanks for sharing. The question that I'll come around the table with now is, what was the biggest roadblock that you faced in your career?
So I think a little bit of what everybody spoke about here really resonated. And the one that I think spoke the most to me is what I ended up doing when I found out I was pregnant. Right, I've always believed that I'm a card-carrying feminist, and I would always put myself first and all of that. But the moment I realized I was pregnant, and it was a difficult time because I'd struggled to get pregnant for whatever reason, and I put down my papers, right? And both my mother and my husband, I think, were equally shocked at what I'd done, because they never expected me to behave like that. And I must say, at that time, it was the support of my family really that helped me see that even those first 3 months at home is not what I wanted to do. And next thing I knew, I'd interviewed, a company hired me. It was amazing to see, right? Even 13, 14 years ago, that a company wouldn't care about it. And I feel lucky in a way that I haven't faced what I'd call too many external roadblocks. And I realize I'm one of the very few who can probably say that. And most of it would come from inside me. So the imposter syndrome, the wondering whether you can juggle all of it together, wanting to be perfect at everything. I think those are the biggest roadblocks for me. Of late, I've learned to tell my young team to reject the image of a woman who's shown with 10 hands juggling a bottle and a laptop and a telephone and vegetables and cooking and everything, because hey, it's just not possible. Let's not allow the world to fool ourselves into believing that we are super women, right? I'm okay to play a 70% effectiveness role at everything I do, rather than wanting to be 100% at everything. I think it's those biases that I feel are the roadblocks that we face, and that I'm constantly struggling to tell myself to not fall for, really.
Right, absolutely. The second question at the table would be, what program or policy or initiative at your company has contributed significantly to increasing a woman's rise up the ladder? And the third question is, what change do you feel is necessary for women and companies to make in order to increase women at leadership levels especially in a post-COVID world, right? We are living in a world that has, I don't know, been turned upon its head. So there's no way we can leave that out of the conversation. I'd really appreciate it if you'd include that in your answer as well.
I'll start with a tweet that one of my friends shared yesterday. It says, "So let me see if I've got this right. We belittle and berate women for not having kids, but professionally, financially, and socially, we punish women who go ahead and have them." Right? I could replace having kids with making time for yourself, with taking care of yourself, taking a vacation, making sure you take a break, and there is no winning. Either way, you get, berated or pulled up. And listening to the conversations around this table, the thought I had was, if a woman can, with her mind and her body, birth, nurture, and grow a good human being, she can manage her finances or her family's finances. She can juggle multiple relationships and multiple egos. Imagine if you allow her to bring all those skills into the workplace, right? Which is not as high stakes as growing humans. Can you imagine the value and the magic that she can do at work? Right? I'm happy to talk about what Epsilon does, and I've seen them do and act on this for the past 3.5 years that I've been here. And I completely resonate with what Sharmila just said. It starts with leadership, right? A lot of it is to do with the mindset at a leadership level. So hiring the right kind of leaders with the right mindset around diversity, irrespective of gender, whether you're a man or a woman, you have to be pro diversity, becomes an important way of ensuring that women are seen as a lever of success. Also creating policies to ensure that women stay. A lot of times when I'm asked, what is it that, what is your one mantra that has helped you reach where you are? Not that it's anything great, but you've lasted, for 22, 23 years. And I feel my mantra has been to stay, right? To not leave irrespective. They could be down years, they could be up years, they could be all of that. But don't ever imagine that there is a back door that you can open and walk out of, because, eventually things smoothen out. So at work, can we create policies that ensure that women stay? One of the things we do is extending flexibility for both men and women. And it's very important to ensure that men enjoy flexibility, because flexibility can't be seen as a reason for you to nurture your family back at home. Flexibility is for work-life balance, to ensure that you're able to do everything you want to do, right? And when you do that, men do not develop a prejudice against women saying, oh, women, use flexibility to their advantage. Hey, our company ensures that both men and women enjoy and seek flexibility for what it can do for you. There's a lot of L&D focus on ensuring that we address issues like this, and women appreciate their own careers better. When you do that, you'll fight the urge as well as the societal pressures to leave when you're getting married, when you have babies, when you need to take care of aging family members, right? And when people stay at work, they grow, irrespective of whether they are men and women. In our case, I think we need to constantly tell our women that. You need to have relevant checks and balances in place. So we check to see that we aren't losing women in the hiring pipeline because of any biases that are creeping in. So constantly training people on unconscious biases is an important way of ensuring that we create awareness about this. There's equity in pay, and we constantly audit ourselves to make sure that there is no imbalance in the way the various genders are paid. And this, I think, is something that we're really proud of. Performance appraisal of leaders beyond a certain level also looks at how they've appraised their team, right? What is the gender ratio of your promotions, of the increments that you're given, and things like that, to ensure that that sort of checks and balance is always in place. And finally, constantly keeping an eye on the gender ratio for attrition, for growth, for hiring, for all of the key metrics. So I think, a very hard focus on the metrics, hard numbers that are required, and then, of course, the mindset as well. The two go hand in hand.
Thank you so much for that, Ganga.